Hey guys, so we are here in California taking care of a real estate deal that was a little bit of a scam, but we'll do a whole separate video on that because it's very complicated. But today we are doing a collab with a couple other YouTubers, I'll link them all in the comments, about ways we've been scammed, how to watch out for scams, and leave a comment in the comments on ways you've been scammed so that we all can watch out for that and not make the same mistakes.
So we wanted to start with scams that we have experienced personally.
The first one just happened last year in January. I signed up for a coaching certification course through Christian Michelson's website, and it was $2,000, and I signed up because he seemed really like he knew what he was doing and that he guaranteed you would find coaching clients and be able to secure coaching clients. So I signed up for that, and immediately they had this hour-long phone call where basically they did the coaching method that they recommend on me to sell me up to a $10,000 private coaching program. And I felt so disgusted by the whole thing. I hated the way that the coaching made me feel, and I was like, I would never want to do this to anyone else, and so I'm out. The reason I bought the course too was I saw that there was a 30-day money-back guarantee, and so I was like, okay, even if I don't like it, I can get my money back. So after all this, I asked for my money back, and they wouldn't give it to me. They said I didn't there was a fine print on getting your money back, and it was if you applied his methods and they didn't work for you. And I refused to apply them because I did not agree with them, and because of that, they wouldn't let me have my money back. And so I even tried filing on my credit card to get that taken off via the credit card, and my credit card company fought them, and they wouldn't take it off. So yeah, avoid Christian Michelson anything. He's a scam artist and does not treat his customers well at all.
Our next couple we're going to talk about are all travel related, so I'm sure if we have any other, like especially international travelers watching, you might relate to some of these. The first one we call the ham scam.
The great ham scam.
The great ham scam of 2017 was in Prague. And it was just kind of like a conversion rate type thing. We were going through a like open market there, and there's a ton of vendors, and first off, like food in Prague is like pretty cheap. So
yeah,
we went up to like the ham booth and they have all their prices there, but they're in like 100 grams. So we're like, oh, like $8 or so, like that's cool, whatever, we'll get some. So he like gets us a little bowl and like a bowl of potatoes, and then asks Allie for the money, to which she hands him like $50. And the bill was like $47. And she's like, okay, sure.
I didn't convert it in my mind. I was just like, it was like, I didn't think about it.
Yeah, they just like ask you for some foreign money, and you're like, okay, here it is.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, wait, that seems like a lot. So what they do is they sell you like a kilogram of ham, which is 2 pounds or something.
Yeah.
Nuts. And then it's like, instead of being $8, it's like
$50.
Yeah.
And Matt thankfully was there and was like, this doesn't seem right, and refused to accept it, and did the conversion in his head and was like, I don't want this ham, even after I'd already paid him. And the guy thankfully gave us our money back, and we got out of the great ham scam.
We did. We didn't fall for it.
Another international scam that I had was I was traveling in Africa by myself. This was in 2014. And I had booked a flight from Zanzibar to Botswana online. And I show up at the airport first thing in the morning because my flight was leaving at 6 a.m. And they tell me that my flight, I did not actually book a ticket on the flight. I just booked a reservation, and that I never received confirmation of it. And so that flight never was going to go in the first place. And it was just, it was a fake like flight thing that I booked. And I was like, okay, great. Like, well, how am I going to get to Botswana? Because I need to get there for this trip, this other part of the trip that I had planned. And so they told me that I had to pay $600 in cash. They would not accept card, in cash, for them to get me on the next flight there. And I was like Googling online because they had Wi-Fi there, and I was Googling, and I was like, well, it says I can buy the tickets online for this same flight that you're putting me on for $300. So why can't I just pay $300 and get on that flight? And they were like, oh no, you have to pay taxes and fees, and because it's so last minute, you have to pay all this. And so I was just like, whatever. I am a single woman by myself in Africa. I'm in a very vulnerable situation in a country I don't speak the language, I don't know very well. So I just was like, sure, I'll pay the extra money, whatever, just to ensure my safety. But be aware, be more prepared than me. Double check your flights to make sure they're actually booked and going to go through, so you don't get scammed.
For sure. And we'll talk about like other scams to watch out for that didn't happen to us, and like
Yeah.
some tips and stuff to protect yourself. And we'll go over some of these
Yeah.
examples and things we would have done differently if we were in that situation again.
Yeah.
So I had another one when I was in high school. I played competitive paintball, and there's like a whole forum and online community around paintball, and I wanted to change guns. So I ended up like in this trade with some dude to like just swap guns. And I sent mine to him, and he never sent his to me. So it was kind of a weird situation, but I ended up getting it back. Basically, I was like really naive and young, and like trading was something that happened a lot there. Mm-hmm. But this guy kind of like impersonated someone else on the forum who had like a really good reputation, because there's this whole like reputation system, so you can kind of trust people for online deals. So we're like a seller rating or eBay rating or something like that.
Yeah.
So, like, I kind of fell into it being like, oh, I can trust this guy. He has, like, this reputation. But it turns out it was not that guy at all. It was somebody else. But, yeah, luckily I was able to get it back working with the police because he shipped it to his house. So
he's an idiot.
Yeah, so it all worked out. But it was stressful.
Did he ever get arrested or anything?
I don't know.
You never pressed charges.
No, I just wanted my gun back.
Yeah.
So.
And then this last one that we're going to talk about just happened like 2 weeks ago when we were going to the X Games in Aspen. We were trying to get tickets to Chainsmokers.
Yeah, we want to go to Chainsmokers that night. So we were trying to like look on Craigslist, find some tickets. There was a guy selling the whole weekend music pass because it was already like Saturday. So a couple of the concerts had already happened for like a pretty good price. I'm like, oh, we'll just buy those. Then we can go tonight, and we can go to like a show we wanted to see on Sunday as well. So we start like negotiating with him. And he's like, yeah, the tickets are electronic. Just, like, send me some money via Zelle, and I'll, like, email them to you. I'm like, okay, it's, like, red flag number one. I'm like, I'm going to send you money and hope that you send me something. I'm like, can I meet up in person? He's like, no, I'm at work. I don't get off till 10. Like, we can meet up after that. That was after the show. So yeah, we spent, like, an hour or two going back and forth.
And Zelle doesn't have seller protection or buyer protection. It's just like Venmo.
It's got Venmo, yeah. So like
Venmo
once you send money, it's gone. Like you can't ask Venmo to get it back for you. You can't ask Zelle to get it back for you. So I was like, hey, let's use PayPal. Like PayPal has seller protection or buyer protection. If you buy some goods and you don't get them, PayPal will help you like solve that. He was not down. He's like, I don't have PayPal. I'm like, it takes you 2 minutes to sign up, and then I just get ghosted. Like he just stops responding to me at all.
Yeah.
For the rest of the night.
So we ended up not buying the tickets from him, obviously.
Yeah.
And yeah, just something to watch out for. So some other scams that some people we know have encountered and things that you should watch out for. We're going to go into that right now.
For sure. So the first one is one of my friends got caught up in like a student loan scam, which is super common right now. A lot of people are struggling with student loans.
Yeah.
So basically they call and they were like, hey, I'm going to make your student loans either A, go away, or I'm going to refinance something going to be way cheaper. I think they told him that like his school got caught up in like a lawsuit or something, and they're having to like repay because they didn't operate ethically or something like that. So there have been some cases of that happening, where the school like took advantage of students, and then they've had to repay
like
that.
DeVry and stuff, like those for-profit educations.
Right.
Yeah.
So like some of that has happened, but like they promised him, hey, you pay me $600. That's gonna pay for like the lawyer to do this stuff, and then it's gonna make it vanish. So basically, you pay them $600, and they ghost you, and they vanish. But your student loans do not. So watch out for that. Watch out for anyone who's like offering to refinance your loans for you and charging you money for it. Like you can refinance within the federal system for free yourself.
You should get paid actually to refinance.
If you refinance outside of the federal system, usually they're giving you a bonus and they'll pay you a cash bonus to refinance with their bank. So like, yeah, don't pay anyone to do anything for your student loans for the most part.
No. In our course, Own Your Debt, we talk about ways you can refinance that will actually pay you.
For sure. And saving money. And
yeah.
We got a calculator for that and everything.
Yeah.
But.
Another common scam is the Craigslist scam. And this is something that happened to one of Matt's mom's friends. Is she saw this amazing rental property online and didn't have time to go down there. It was like for the summer or the winter. She was going to go for a season to Arizona. And she ended up sending a bunch of money, like $4,000, to this house because it looked beautiful. She wanted to secure it, and it was just a scam. The house didn't even exist.
No,
So.
They just took some photos off of like the internet and made a Craigslist posting and like, this amazing house is for rent.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of other Craigslist scams.
Yeah.
Obviously, everyone's seen like the Nigerian prince scam, like send me $1,000, I'll send you back $1 million.
Yeah.
All of that garbage. There's a lot of people like doing it with cars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I remember when I tried to sell my car, I just get blown up on Craigslist by people like, oh, I live out of town. I'll send you a certified check plus fees for
delivery. Yeah.
And then they send you like a check way bigger. Oh, just send me the difference back. The check's not even real. It's fake.
And then it costs you money when you try to cash a fake check.
It's true. If you try to cash a check that isn't real, your bank usually
gives you a fee.
So.
Yeah. So that's a big one. Wire transfer fraud is something that happened to someone in the FinCon community. She transferred a deposit for her house, and someone called and changed the wire transfer, or emailed or something, changed the wire transfer information, and so she ended up transferring it to the wrong bank account, and thankfully she was able to get it back. But that's something to just be aware of, is that if you hear that, the bank information has changed or something, just red flag, and call exactly who you know at the title company or the escrow company. Yeah.
Yeah, get it squared away. Because, they don't change their banks all that often.
No.
So that stuff really shouldn't be changing, like, in the middle of your transaction.
Yeah. So how to protect yourself. And we talked a little bit about this, but just always be skeptical, especially online. Always meet in person and exchange the good for the cash right there.
Right, like we try to do with the tickets. Like the best way would be like, okay, let's meet in person. I can see the tickets on your iPhone.
Yeah.
And then like I'll give you money and watch you email them to me.
Right.
And I will like get them on my phone before I leave.
Yeah.
Like that, I can feel pretty comfortable about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like sending some through
PayPal,
an online payment and then
yeah.
like hoping they get emailed back to you is like obviously a lot less secure. So.
And be aware what transaction method you use to conduct the business. So if you use PayPal, that has seller and buyer protection. If you do it through not send to friend, but if you do pay for goods.
Yeah.
Venmo and Zelle do not have any protection.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, you might want to talk a little bit about like meeting in person too can also be a little sketchy. Like obviously I don't worry about it as much being a big tall male.
Yeah.
But
I don't feel comfortable meeting in person or inviting people to my house or anything unless Matt is there and I know he's going to be home. And we also had roommates when we, were living in a house. And so I was like, well, there's like 5 people living here. So if you're really going to try to mess with me, like there's a lot of people you got to get through. But being a single female, I would meet people in Starbucks or somewhere that's a neutral ground, and so that they don't know your address and
for sure
anything. Yeah.
So something like kind of auxiliary to actually getting scammed, but just protecting yourself from the crazies out there on Craigslist.
Definitely. In terms of like international travel and stuff, do your due diligence and research and double check your flights, and because really you become susceptible to getting scammed when you're in a situation where you are vulnerable and you aren't educated enough to know, and you are kind of caught in, you have to make this move, and
Yeah, it's kind of when things like change a lot is whenever I've had like bad experiences with things internationally. It's like, oh, we have to like change plans. We like, instead of taking a plane, we're taking this train, or we're changing travel arrangements, or like where we're staying or something like that. So by doing a lot of pre-planning and making sure like you have your itinerary and all of your things nailed down, can really help prevent that. Because, yeah, it's when people take advantage of you. It's like, I have to get from point A to point B.
Right.
Like, in her case with the flight, you don't really have a choice. So, and they know that. So they can kind of stick it to you easier in that situation. And the other thing is just kind of being flexible.
Yeah.
You know? Because the other thing is like, oh, if you don't have to get there today or whatever, that can also give you a lot of flexibility to come up with different plans. Like, this doesn't sound right. I'm going to go, you know, a different direction.
For sure.
Also do conversions.
Yeah, also do conversions and know the conversion rate of the currency that you're going to.
So you know what you're paying for off the top of your head. I always like just try to round it to something I can do math with really easily.
Yeah.
Like in Prague, I think it was like $15, like per dollar. So it's like, all right, I'll just use like 20.
Yeah.
And then I'll just divide it. So it's like super easy to do. And then
you at least have the
you at least
general,
have an idea. Like within
a,
you know, that's
ballpark.
Still like 25% off, but at least it's not like you're going to get hit by a factor of 10 on your ham.
Ham scam.
A ham scam. So yeah.
And also,
that's what I was gonna do.
Yeah, in terms of like Craigslist scams, seeing in person before you buy. And if there's, obviously that's ideal, but if there's a situation where, you know, it's a rental property and you really want it and, you know, you live across the country and you're going to be traveling or something, putting a deposit down that's smaller that you would feel comfortable losing if it turned out to be a scam. So instead of sending $4,000 to this rental property, send $200 and say, you know, here's the $200. When I arrive, I'll pay you the rest on the spot. But right now, I don't know who you are. I've never seen the property. What if it's in poor condition? What if it's not what it appeared to be? I'm only going to send as much as I feel comfortable. And we tried to do that with the X Games tickets.
Yeah, for sure. Because we like really wanted to go. So we're like, all right, what if I send you like $50 and then you send me one ticket? Because we were buying 3 for $150.
Yeah.
So like, I'll send you $50. You send me one. When I check it out and it's cool, I'll like pay for the rest.
Yeah. And he didn't want that though. He didn't let that.
He's like, oh, send me 75. Send me half.
Yeah. We're like,
I'll just buy one.
That doesn't make sense.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Buy 1.5 tickets. But yeah, so that's pretty good advice. And I was just thought of another one is like if you can't go see it in person and you're worried about whether the house is real or like in my case with like paintball guns and stuff like that, you're buying goods, like does that person actually own that or did he like take that picture off of another person's post or the website somewhere and try to sell it? So what we used to do there was have them take a picture of whatever we were buying with a sheet of paper with like the date and their username written on it. So that way, like, you can't really fake that because you have to be able to have that and the actual thing
unless
in
you
your
Photoshop
hand.
it, I guess.
Yeah, but you can kind of tell.
Yeah.
Unless they're super good at Photoshop, you might still get hooked. But for the most part, that's helped me avoid somewhere as like buying physical stuff.
Yeah.
And they have to take a real-time picture of it because it has today's date on it. So, like, in the case of the house, if it's actually really shitty, like, walk around the house, take some pictures, and you can always request that of somebody.
Or do a FaceTime or video chat.
Yeah, do a video chat or something.
Yeah.
Or something that's harder to, like, doctor or misrepresent.
Or do transaction through secure platforms like eBay. If someone, you know, says they're going to send you a product through eBay, then you have the protection of eBay.
So you can always, like, if you're going to do it off of one of those platforms, be like, let's bring it on to one of these, like, something I'll offer is, like, I'll pay the PayPal fees or whatever. It's, like, 3%.
Yeah.
Or, if you were going to do it on eBay, like, have them sell it to you through a platform that offers some of that security.
Yeah. So I hope this was helpful in, you know, avoiding scams and also one thing is, like, to be graceful to yourself because we like to think we're educated, smart individuals, and we have still fallen for scams. And it's so kind of demoralizing when that happens because you think you are smart enough to avoid them, but it's okay. Like, we all have vulnerabilities and areas where we are not fully aware or fully,
Yeah, it can just be like a lapse of judgment too, like in the moment, or like it can be like an emotional decision. You get caught up in something and then you're like, oh, like, shoot.
Yeah.
You kind of overreached or like didn't think or take as much time as you needed to. So like it happens. Just try to make sure it's eliminated as much as possible. And then if it does happen, like forgive yourself for it because we've all had some
Scams.
instances. So definitely leave us your experiences in the comments below. We'd love to hear them. I'm sure other people would love to read through them.
Yeah.
And then everyone gets more educated about what's out there, what, shady stuff people are trying to pull, which
And
just
how
helps
to
you
avoid
avoid
them.
it in the future.
Yeah.
If you guys like this video, definitely make sure to hit subscribe and give us a thumbs up. You can ring the little bell so you get notified every time we put out a new video. We try to do that every single week. We're covering topics on money, minimalism, and mindset. We also threw some stuff in there about our businesses and entrepreneurship, travel. We get a little,
life.
we get some tangents sometimes.
Yeah.
But let us know what you thought of the video. Like I said, leave us some comments, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Bye.
See you.
You